Good evening and welcome to the Board of Selectmen's meeting of August 6th. The first item on the agenda tonight is, once again, having to do with the 46 Springdale property. This is to close and execute the warrant for the special town meeting on September 15th. At our last town meeting, the Board of Selectmen chose to adhere to its right of first refusal, contingent upon approval at town meeting and at the town election on November 4th for the property for $5.55 million. The warrant, which always goes out for a town meeting, is in front of us. There are two articles on it. One is to see if the town will authorize the selectmen to acquire by purchase the property that we've been working on. This is going to require a 2/3 vote at town meeting and then a majority vote at the town election to cover the debt financing. Article 2, which is has not been discussed by us, so I'm actually going to read the whole thing. Says to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate or appropriate by transfer from available funds or any combination of these methods to fund an ad hoc committee to be appointed by the selectmen to study the possible uses of the Snyder property if such property is acquired by the town and to take any other action thereto. So we had mentioned as part of our timeline and as part of the FAQs that have been developed over the last 90 days as we explored this possibility, that the selectmen's recommendation would be that if the town were to vote to acquire the property, that we would create an ad hoc committee made up of representatives of all the relevant committees, plus a broad representation from town citizens to study any and all uses, possible uses, short-term and long-term, of the 27.2 acres. So in order to do that, in case there's any professional services that would be required as the committee did their due diligence on their charge, we are going to ask for some funds to be used only if they need to bring in professional outside help, depending on what options they look at.
Will that be a majority vote or also a 2/3 vote?
That's a majority vote.
Thank you.
And that won't be on the ballot?
That will be on the ballot.
Both questions will be on the ballot?
No.
No.
Question 2 will not be.
Right, so question 2 is strictly a town meeting appropriation. The town ballot, which is the November 4th election day, will just be the purchase.
And the election would be, and the election, Madam Chair, would be contingent upon a successful vote at town meeting.
Exactly. Yes, so folks, once again, because I know this can get a little bit confusing, if the town votes to acquire the property at the special town meeting on September 15th by 2/3 vote, then there will be a ballot question on the November 4th ballot. If the town votes no at town meeting, then that's it. There's no second vote at the town ballot on November 4th.
Statewide election on the 4th, right?
So, with that, do I have a motion to approve the warrant that we see in front of us?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Second copy. Oh, please.
This is the only agenda item on Springdale, so before we continue, are there any questions on this process? All set?
Thanks, Greg.
Very good.
You want them to stay part of this
See you, Jim.
Would you ask Doug if he would stay? Would you ask Doug Lawrence if he would stay?
I was just going to suggest that.
Can't get away that easy. We have a couple of reserve fund transfers later on in the agenda, so if you don't mind, won't be long. Thank you.
We were aware your meeting starts at 7 o'clock, is that correct? Good.
The second item on the agenda is a Park and Rec request for reduction from quarterly to biannual water billing for the Carroll Park irrigation. Park and Rec uses the Carroll Park well, which it is under the responsibility of the Board of Selectmen as water commissioners to water the baseball field that's next to the tennis courts, and for the water fountain, I'm sorry, that's my New York thing, for the bubbler,
I
which
didn't
is
know what they
also there.
meant.
I know, bubbler's a New England thing. So, Mr. Ramsey.
So currently, as the Park and Rec Director has described, they get billed quarterly, and it's $116 a quarter, representing a minimum use. As he points out, for 2 of those quarters, the second and third quarter, they don't use any water because they're shut down in the fall and winter. He is requesting that the Board of Selectmen waive the $116 for each of those 2 quarters for a total of $232 waiver per year. This is a practice that's gone on forever, for as long as I've been here and before, so this is a request to alter that practice.
You know, as a consumer, I'm so used to a minimum charge all the time on the water bills, and I'm sort of reluctant to change a historical sort of transaction here for how many years been here, day 16, whatever the case may be, for at least that long. Plus, I'm sort of I'm hesitant to change this arrangement we have.
No, I agree. I have a situation like that at my vacation home where I'm there 3 months a year and I still pay a quarterly minimum charge to the town for water. It's sort of like, I view it just as a connection fee. It's just
Yeah.
part of having it there when I need it.
So
I agree.
Mr. McTavish brought this up at the request of the commissioners, or?
I don't know whether it's on his own authority or as a representative of the commission.
I would agree with both of you. My guess is the intent was that it is a minimum charge, and, you know, we just bill it quarterly for convenience.
Right. Okay.
So, do we need to vote on this?
We simply take no action.
So we'll take no action and
I agree,
Perhaps
unless the
maybe-
commissioners have a much better explanation
Right.
for us in the future.
yeah, I see that they're not copied on the memo. That doesn't mean that they don't know about it, so.
Their meeting, the next one is beginning September, which I will attend, and maybe I'll bring it up for some clarity.
Okay, great, thanks. The next item is the execution of the September 9th state primary warrant. September 9th, Tuesday, is primary day in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And as is customary, we need to approve the warrant that will be put before the voters. We only have one ward, so we're Ward 0, Precinct 1. And the positions are Senator in Congress, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Attorney General, Secretary of State, Treasurer and Receiver General, Auditor, Representative in Congress, Counselor, Senator in General Court, Representative in General Court, District Attorney, Register of Probate, County Commissioner, and County Treasurer. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, September 9th. Do I have a motion to approve the warrant? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we all sign this, Greg?
Yes, please.
Any particular spots?
Great.
This side?
Number 2.
Thank you.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to have a busy town clerk's office this fall.
We are indeed, Madam Chair.
September 9th, I'd forgotten about primary day. September 9th, special town meeting September 15th, election day 11/4.
And maybe 2 elections on November 4th, depending upon what the town does. Trial by fire for our new town clerk.
Let's see.
I was gonna say good experience.
Oh, excuse me, that's a better way to put it. Good experience for the new town clerk. Absolutely.
She's up to it. Okay, and we're still continuing on with our summer and early fall process of appointments for volunteers and employees, some of them, for the town of Dover. So I don't have any yet.
I do not have any this
Do
evening.
not eat
You
them.
don't do either, Mr. Rand, do you have some?
I have three.
Okay.
Starting on page 11.
It's making us look bad.
Let's see.
I finished dead last year, folks. I'm trying to do.
Oh, don't worry, I think I'm gonna finish that last.
Now, starting with the Right to Know Coordinator, Craig Hughes has indicated a willingness to continue to serve in that capacity.
Excellent. I move we appoint Craig Hughes to a one-year term as Right to Know Coordinator.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Craig, in addition to everything else that you do in town.
Yeah, we call him the you have not seen anything yet department head. And then also, Craig has expressed a willingness, an enthusiastic willingness to continue as superintendent of streets.
For which he does an incredible job.
He does.
So I move we approve Craig Hughes as Superintendent of Streets for one-year term.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then on page 13, the deputy water operator, Jeff Carter, has expressed a willingness to continue.
The previous two for Mr. Hughes were one-year appointments.
They are.
Thank you. And this is a three-year appointment?
This is a 3-year appointment, but it's not for Mr. Hughes, it's for Mr.
It's
No,
for
Carter.
Mr. Carter,
Carter,
that's
right.
right. Thank you, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So I move we appoint Jeffrey Carter to a 3-year term as Deputy Water Operator.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Okay.
I would like to add, though, that there are plenty of openings available to really step up and volunteer for the town. I recently had a great conversation with town moderator, Mr. Repetti, and some of the difficulties and people maybe overthinking their role as a volunteer in town, but I really do wish more people would step up and volunteer. Thank you.
We have received about 4 or 5 calls into the Selectmen's office. So that is the best way, or you can contact each of us directly.
Okay.
Next agenda item is to appoint an administrative assistant to the Board of Selectmen and Town Administrator. We've been working shorthanded in the Selectmen's office since January?
Since May.
Officially since May.
Officially since May. Seems like forever. When our administrative assistant, Karen Hayet, went down to take the job, the administrative job with the Board of Health. And, let's see, Greer? Are you gonna discuss this?
Yes, so, we were very fortunate to have Felicia Hoffman, take the position, the full-time position, and the position has, been upgraded or restored, I should say, to a higher grade because of the, complexity of the responsibilities and the quality and quantity of work that is ever grown in the Selectmen's office. With her departure in May to become the town clerk after the election, she has kindly stayed on with us to provide some very limited coverage while she's in the process of familiarizing herself and her new employer in the clerk's office. So we have for the past several weeks been reviewing resumes and setting up appointments for potential candidates, interviewing them. I believe we received over 30 applications. We interviewed 8 applicants that seemed that their skill set and experience might match, and by unanimous consensus, we all agreed that Mona DeShulo from Walpole would be our recommendation to the board for the administrative assistant position. Her references all were excellent. She has lengthy experience as an executive assistant to a consulting firm in Boston. And I think that our needs in the office are very closely matched to what she's able to do for us, so we are.
Well, I know you went through a rigorous process and looking at an awful lot of resumes, and how many folks did you end up actually interviewing?
8.
8.
Yes, yeah, and we actually brought a couple back for second interviews, and she, by far, was head and shoulders above the rest. She was interviewing for several positions. She was very straightforward about that from the first interview, and after we completed our interviews and she completed hers, we felt that she would be a great match and would meet our needs, and she also said that she really was very interested in this position compared to the others, and were the board to approve it, she would be very pleased to accept it.
Good.
Okay.
Well, I defer to your excellent interviewing skills, and you guys are where the rubber meets the road, so you know what you need in there.
Yes,
She certainly has a very strong resume.
she's solid.
The fiscal 15 budget, I take it, is in line with what this woman expects and what you
That's
explained.
correct. She agreed to come at the minimum at step 1 because she doesn't have the municipal experience, but she does have quite a lot of corporate experience and has demonstrated that she can perform the job, so she's certainly worth it.
Good.
Well, we know how that office can function at a much higher level when everybody works as a team.
Mm.
Yes,
So
and
it's
we
good to
had
hear
that
that
sense, and that was the report from all references, is that they said she has a work ethic second to none, and you couldn't be luckier. She works well with everybody and anybody.
Which is really important.
Yes,
Your
and,
office.
yeah, so her people skills as well as her office skills apparently, by all reports, are excellent.
And the start date?
That remains to be seen, probably right at the beginning of September. She had an out-of-state commitment for several days in August, but we could, you know.
Okay, that's understandable. People make plans.
Sometime right after Labor Day then.
Oh, yeah,
Good.
definitely.
Okay.
So do we vote on this?
Yes.
So I move we appoint Mona DeSchulo as administrative assistant to the Board of Selectmen.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Great, I can't
Thank
wait.
you.
I know you can't wait. I know you can't wait.
Madam Chair,
We
if I
can say
may,
thanks, and you guys are really chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
I'd like,
Her background looks just
It-
excellent.
It is
A perfect
incredible,
fit.
and the references, they couldn't say enough about her.
Good.
And it all seemed to be completely in keeping with her reports and all the paperwork here and some research we did. And she has great writing skills that she will be bringing to the office as
Mr.
well.
Ennis.
Madam Chair, I would like to also publicly thank and commend Greer and Felicia. This has been an outstanding process. We've had a lot of fun, and each of us have added value to this.
Yes.
And by virtue of the process, I think we're going to assure that this person's going to be a great fit for the entire wing, not just for our office.
Wonderful.
Yes,
So it's
yeah.
really
She
been a great
is-
experience.
She will be part of the team.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Look forward to meeting her.
Thank you.
I'm going to switch around.
I was just going to suggest that. Thank you. Only because you want me.
Exactly.
Thank
I
you
looked
very
at
much.
the exactly. So we'll do the request for reserve fund transfers first. First one is from the accounting department for $1,461 to add additional 15 hours per week in the accounting office for the next 4 weeks for additional assistance due to unanticipated increase of workload. Okay. And because this is a salary item, we have no flexibility. If it was in the operating budget, given that it's still early in the fiscal year, we might be able to find the funds, but we can't on the salary line. Right. So do I have a motion to approve the reserve fund transfer?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Doug, the thinking was that you can take them downstairs and get them approved this evening, obviously if the warrant committee so moves.
Okay, the second one does have to relate to the 46 Springdale. I'm glad Doug is sitting down. It's for $150,000. This is for the refundable deposit for the purchase of the parcel on Springdale Avenue. As we've mentioned, since we started to meet with this in May, we need to meet the economic value of the current purchase and sale agreement that exists between Mr. Snyder and Northland Residential. That includes a deposit of $150,000. This will authorize us to, as we finish up negotiations on the purchase and sale, which was authorized to do at the last Selectmen's meeting, to provide $150,000 contingent upon town meeting and town ballot approval, if necessary. If the town meeting does not approve the purchase, then this will not happen. If town meeting approves the purchase and town election ballot does not approve the funding, then this is a refundable deposit and will go back to the town coffers.
Now, a little clarity, Dave, if you may, on the logistics of the reserve fund itself. We have $250,000 of which you'll use a great amount early in a fiscal year. Does this automatically come back if the town votes to pay for the debt on the land, or do we need a supplemental appropriation?
Logistically, what we contemplate is in Article 1, we will provide for replenishing the reserve fund for the $150,000. This is just a cash flow timing issue
I know, yeah, but
from the
logistically, we have to explain it correctly.
on that bonding authorization.
Okay, so Doug, do you get that? That it'll come back? Good, thank you. I thought it was important to talk that one out.
Certainly.
I was actually gonna ask the same question.
We're working well, Kevin.
Why, we're all in sync tonight.
Miracles.
Okay.
So do I have a motion to approve $150,000 as a refundable deposit?
I will second that motion. I will
You will move it.
move that motion,
And I
thank
will
you.
second it.
And we all say,
Aye. Good.
One question, Madam Chairman.
yes.
Is there a deadline on this deposit? Do we have to submit it by a certain date?
Well, it has to be delivered with the signed purchase and sale agreement. The purchase and sale agreement has been delivered to Mr. Snyder and his attorneys, and we're waiting for a response, right? We haven't seen anything yet?
And it will be held in escrow.
Yes.
So the timing of that, according to a timeline that we have put up, is anywhere from September 15th through November 4th is execute the final P&S.
It could happen sooner.
It could happen sooner than that. That's why we need it prior to the September 15th town meeting.
There you go.
Doug, are you comfortable with that, explaining it to
Yes.
your? Good.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Should you have any questions in the middle of your meeting, please feel free to come up and ask us.
Ask Jim, he'll be listening.
We'll send them down.
I'm a pretty big gopher.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we have 11 special licenses to approve.
11 weddings.
Yeah, I guess, as is our
I don't know if they.
process these days. I'll just read them and then we'll just approve them
Okay.
all at once. Sunday, August 10th,
Wedding.
wedding.
Do we have to
At,
say where? Elm
At Elm Bank, at the Connors Center, a meeting on August 13th. At the Connors Center, a wedding on August 16th.
Which one are you looking at?
Elm Bank, on August 16th, a wedding. Elm Bank, on August 17th, a wedding. The Connor Center on August 19th, a meeting.
Is that the 19th or
Or
the 17th?
That is the
Is it?
19th.
Thank you.
On September 3rd, at the Connor Center, a meeting. On September 5th, at the Connor Center, a meeting. September 6th, at the Connor Center, a meeting. September 13th, at the Connor Center, a meeting. And on October 11th, a meeting, a wedding, sorry, a wedding.
Right.
Do I have a motion to approve?
You do.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. This one's gonna be either old or new, or there's only two signatory lines. Okay, figure that out. That's it.
I signed these are for Jim.
Oh, was that your signature?
Just a, it's really fast.
Oh, there you go.
And I had to manually sign checks. I got really fast.
Thank you, Greg.
Okay, we have an addition to the agenda tonight, and that is dealing with the design and construction contract for the dispatch center at a public safety building that was approved at this May's town meeting. Mr. Ramsey?
We've been working on developing a standard contract for the architect owner services for the dispatch renovation project. It wasn't quite able to get here in prime time today. It should be ready tomorrow. I would ask the board to authorize the chairman to execute that agreement when it's ready and approved by town council as to form.
It's our standard same terms that
We've used it on Carroll several times for construction. It's worked beautifully.
Yes, it has. Okay. So we have a meeting tomorrow, maybe at that point, maybe.
Mhm.
Are there monetary considerations in the agreement?
Yeah, the design fee is as projected in the budget,
Okay,
$58,000.
so nothing's changed from the budget?
Project schedule is the same, and this is trying to keep it on schedule.
Good.
Okay, so we'll take a vote on that? Sure.
Yes.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, are you looking for a different meeting?
I could be, I'm looking for the meeting about the property over on Springdale.
So that was a agenda item at 6:30, so we're done.
Then I'm done.
But if you're interested, we hope that we'll see you on September 3rd at our selectmen's meeting, where we're going to do an educational session,
Oh, okay,
and then a town meeting on the 15th of September.
good, I was just checking to see if I'd done something.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Citizens' comments?
Buy yourself some air conditioning.
Citizens' comments?
I think you just made two great citizens' comments. We hope to see you
My
on
air
September 3rd.
conditioning.
Oh, the air conditioning. I was gonna, but the September 3rd Board of Selectmen meeting regarding 406 Springdale Ave, which will also be educational forum. And then the September 15th special town meeting, which I hope to see everyone.
So I know that all three of us have received phone calls from Dover citizens on this issue, as well as taking the opportunity when we're talking to our friends and neighbors to remind them of this. And it's a little bit confusing. I think there's some misunderstandings there as well. I hope that the press will continue on the front page to promote this and do what can be done. The article so far has been excellent, to make sure that the citizens are aware of it. What will happen, we approve the warrant first thing this evening. That will go out in the mail next week. So you should, by the end of next week, you should have that in your mail. Soon after you receive that, probably the week after, you'll be receiving what we're calling an executive summary. Usually before town meeting, we publish something called the Blue Book, and it's a nice little, probably 5x8 thing, and it's blue. Because this is a special town meeting and we have the time constraints that we have, we're not going to be publishing a Blue Book, but we will publish an executive summary. It'll be 3 to 4 pages summarizing the issues. It will provide all the links to the website and all the documents on the website. It will also remind everybody about the link to Dover-Sherburne cable TV, so that anybody who wants to watch the Selectmen's meetings that we've had on this issue can replay those on cable as well. They're also on YouTube. There are articles that have been in the paper, and again, we urge everyone to please take the time to study this issue and come to town meeting educated and ready to vote on the issue.
Agreed.
Good.
Okay, I think that's it. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Or do we go a motion to executive session first?
Suzanne, jumping the gun. So we do have to go into executive session to discuss the purchase and sale agreement for Springdale property. I'll take a poll. Mr. Dolan?
Yes.
Ms. Hunter?
Yes.
Yes for me. So we'll be going into executive session, not to return. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.